Millions of people are diagnosed with skin cancer every year, but only a small percentage of people actually protect themselves with sunscreen. We're being joined by dermatologist Dr. Keith LeBlanc to talk about a new way to make sunscreen more accessible to everyone. And I know this firsthand because I did have basal cell carcinoma from too much sun and not enough sunscreen on my nose, so it is important.
Absolutely.
It is the most common cancer.
It is. It's the most common cancer in the United States. It's actually the most common cancer in the world. There's more non-melanoma skin cancer in the United States in a given year than there is breast, prostate, lung, and colon cancer put together.
Really? Okay, so, and now you guys are putting up kiosks like this. You've already got a contract with Jefferson Parish Parks?
Yes.
And then you want to have these at like Jazz Fest, at golf tournaments, football games, baseball games, whatever.
Absolutely, yes. So to your point, I mean, the number of folks diagnosed with skin cancer in the United States is pretty staggering. I mean, it's truly an epidemic. And if you ask a group of Americans, you know, is sunscreen a good thing or is daily sunscreen a good thing, the vast majority of them would say absolutely. Yet, if you ask that same group of people what percentage of them are actually using sunscreen on a daily basis, that number is pretty terrifyingly low, about 10%.
So, and this is a free service to people. So if the kiosk is at some place where you're out in the sun, then you just come up to the machine and you can get free sunscreen.
Absolutely. So the machine is battery run. When you walk up to the machine, the power button's actually up here on the top. You can walk up to the machine, check to see if the power button's on. If it's not, you can hit it, no problem.
Okay.
Once the machine is turned on, it'll run for 5 minutes. Once it's stopped being used, if no one's dispensed out of the machine for 5 minutes, it powers back down. But you could then walk up, 30 seconds later, hit the power button again and go ahead and dispense. So power button's up here, the dispense buttons are on either side. You stick your hand underneath, hit the dispense button, sunscreen comes in, and that's it.
Now, how are you able to offer this service for free?
So, and that was really the big disconnect, right? To me, why does so few Americans wear sunscreen when everybody would agree that it's a good thing? And to me, the problem was access, right? And so we aim to put these in areas like parks, playgrounds, tennis courts, festivals.
And you get sponsors to pay for advertising.
And the sponsorship basically subsidizes the cost of the sunscreen as well as the servicing of the machines, because we have to service the kiosks, refill the sunscreen, make sure they're clean, et cetera.
And one of the important things about this, I assume, is because when you put, let's say you put sunscreen on before you go out to play tennis or golf or whatever, you need to reapply it.
Correct. So the official recommendation per the American Academy of Dermatology is about every 2.5 hours, and then every time you get wet. Back in the days when I was a kid, there were waterproof sunscreens. You can't even use that terminology anymore because it's not true. So safe to say that if you're out and about and staying dry, every 2.5 to 3 hours you should reapply.
Oh, it's that often?
It's that often. And when you get out of a swimming pool or the ocean, you should go ahead and reapply as soon as you dry off.
And so what's your goal to have this? I mean, it's just here in the metro area.
For now.
I mean, you'd like to do it all over the country.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, anywhere where folks are outside enjoying themselves, to me, is an indication to have a SunStop. Just because, like I said, to me, the problem is access. So all these folks, you get out to a festival and realize, oh, shoot, I forgot my sunscreen at home. I don't have any sunscreen. So you're either asking someone else. We kind of aim to solve that problem for you.
Now, where can we find these now?
So right now, there's one at the Bonneville Boat Launch. There is one at LaSalle Baseball Park. We actually are about to place some machines out at Val Reese Baseball Park. I'm trying to.
Have you been in touch with Jazz Fest and other places like that?
So to your point, yeah, festivals. You're going to see us all over the place this spring. So Hogs for the Cause, Crescent City Classic, French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest, Zurich. We'll have machines at all of them.
And who came up with this idea?
So there was actually a guy here locally, his name was Sean, who built these originally in his garage. About 4 or 5 years ago, he ended up in my office, and I started to advertise on a couple of his machines.
Was he charging for them?
He was charging for them at the time, so the model was a little bit different.
Yeah.
We bought the company from him about a year ago, made the big change to take the credit card readers off the machines, make the service free, but also to kind of up the advertising on the kiosk as opposed to making it a fee-for-service type of model.
And you're pretty passionate about this.
I do, yeah. Look, I'm on the front lines every day seeing this skin cancer epidemic up close and personal, and the best preventative measure that we have is the use of sunscreen. And like I said, everybody would agree sunscreen's a good thing, and yet a really low number or percentage of the population is actually doing it on a daily basis.
By the way, what kind of sunscreen do you use in here?
So it is a chemical sunscreen, and that's something that we're working on. Sunscreens really come in 2 flavors, chemical and physical or mineral sunscreens. It can dispense a mineral sunscreen. Right now, we're using a sunscreen that we just order wholesale. It is efficacious. It's a SPF 50. So the things patients always ask me are, what do I need to look for in my sunscreen? As long as it's SPF 30 or above and it says the words broad spectrum, then that's up to AAD standards, or American Academy of Dermatology standards. This is a chemical sunscreen, which again, it's not harmful. I would have no problem putting it on myself or my kids or anything like that. But we may end up going the physical route, and more because you see skin rashes and things like that in some folks that are sensitive to chemical sunscreens, whereas you tend to see less of that with mineral sunscreens.
We'll be watching for those. Peyton, let's get over to you. There'll be plenty of sun.